Good morning. Today I'm going to swatch out into a colour chart my new Schmincke Retro Set Bijou Box watercolour set, and I'm going to be interested to see what kind of colours I can get from these 8 that I've been playing with so far. I'm actually really enjoying the Viridian. It mixes really beautifully, and I have found I can mix a really nice Quin Gold with the English Venetian Red and the yellow, which is cool because that's one of my favourite colours. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. I've drawn out this chart which I found on a really useful blog post by Anthony. I can't remember the name of the blog, but I'll link to that in the description below. And he just gives you a really nice template, and I really liked how he recommended how to lay out the colours, going from reds, doing the reds, the yellows, greens, blues, and then the darks. So it just looks like I think quite a nice way of doing it. So anyway, let's get into it. So I've not really done one of these before, especially on film, so excuse me if I'm a bit clumsy with it, but I'm just going to start by doing a little dot of each. What was next? Chromium yellow hue. Managing to stay quite clean so far. Then yellow raw ochre. It's a nice transparent colour, this one. Quite enjoying that one too. Never had a raw ochre. Raw umber. Then onto the green. In this case we have Viridian. And then Ultramarine Finest. A really lovely blue. Very versatile colour. And then the Schmincke Payne's Grey, which is really, really dark. So I'm just going to dilute that a bit so I can see the writing. There we go. Right. So, because this will repeat itself every time you mix a colour, so for instance Vermilion and Ultramarine Finest will be the same as Ultramarine Finest and Vermilion here. What the blog post told me is to do more of a diluted mix down this side and a full strength mixed along the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go left to right and then top to bottom, left to right with a full mix, a full strength mix, and then top to bottom with a more diluted mix. So and then you're supposed to do a mix of 50-50. So I'll do my best. This isn't going to be perfect, but I hope it will give me and you a good idea of the kind of colours you can achieve with this lovely little tin. Right, so we start with Vermilion. Actually, it might be useful to just pop a little bit in the tin there, and then I can just swatch this out. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges if I can help it, so that I don't have to wait for it to dry. Okay. And then we'll add a little spot of this. Now I'm finding this English Venetian Red a really strong colour. So you don't need a lot. Basically, a lot goes a long way. Okay, actually this is going to start getting quite messy, isn't it? I'm going to need like lots of space to do it all. So that's that, and then we'll go with yellow. Dot more of that. That's a really nice orange. Okay, then we will go with the raw ochre. Then a dot of, what's next? Raw umber. I can already see that these are looking quite diluted. I'm also trying to practice just using a brush and water rather than a water brush, because I think for my watercolouring it's going to give a better result, but I'm more used to using a water brush, so forgive me if this is not brilliant. Right, next we're mixing that with vermilion, Viridian, which makes kind of like a grey. Interesting. I'm going to try and mix that a little bit more. Richly. There we go. That is quite a nice grey, like a green grey. Okay. Then we're going to have a dot of vermilion with ultramarine. Now this is where you would expect a nice purple, but because it's not a cool purple, a cool red rather, you don't get a great one. Although that's not bad. It's better than I expected. Okay, and then the final one along this side is a spot of that and a spot of that. Payne's grey. Cool. So as you can see, that's actually a really interesting range already. Okay, now if I could remember what these mixes were, I would be able to just add a bit more water to them. However, I can't, so I'm just going to clean my palette quickly, and then we can start again going top to bottom. So there we have it. My colour mix chart for my Schmincke Travel set, and I'm actually really pleased I did that. I did make my brain hurt a little bit, but it is very interesting to see all the oranges and the greens and the purples, kind of and reds, etc. that you can get from it. Some really lovely shadow colours in here, which are worth remembering. I think Payne's Grey and Ultramarine are going to be a really nice one to use, as well as the Viridian maybe in greenery. This is a really nice, quite a nice earthy green actually. I'm quite surprised at that mix. And yeah, like I say, I kind of think this the lemon yellow and the English Venetian red make a nice orange and like a queen gold almost. So that's quite cool, and these are nice. This is a nice little yellowy centre we have here, and some interesting mixes with the Viridian as well. Look at all this, really interesting, and glad I did it. And some nice greys with the Payne's Grey mixed with other things, so quite a nice maroon there with the vermilion. And I'm quite liking this, although it's got a little cauliflower in it. I think with the raw umber makes quite a nice warm grey, and the ultramarine makes a nice cool grey. So yeah, really worthwhile doing this exercise to help you get to know your paint palette. I'm actually going to try and do another one just using 3 colours. I think a limited palette, a really classic one, is using ultramarine, burnt sienna and yellow ochre. So I don't have exactly those colours, but I could use, for my limited 3, I think I'm going to go for the raw ochre and the English Venetian red along with the ultramarine, and I think those 3 will make some good mixes. So I will have a go at swatching those out on another sheet in another video. And yeah, I'm going to continue to think about what else I could add, because there is definitely room for 4 more pans in the middle here. I think definitely like a darker blue and a cool red would be good. So something like a quin rose, although I think in Schmincke it would probably be a carmine, and an indigo I think would be quite nice, and possibly burnt sienna, because I do kind of miss that. But we'll see. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have any comments. If you've got this tin, what you think about it. And any other colour recommendations you can think for my extra 4 in the middle here would be really, really gratefully received. So yeah, thanks again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.